Minnesota State University Mankato has been celebrating their hearts out for homecoming all week long. Earlier today, Kendall Larson was on the street talking to some students, some alumni, and staff about what homecoming means to them.
Minnesota State University Mankato started off Saturday with its homecoming parade. The theme this year was modeled after Marvel's Avengers Endgame mixed with Maverick spirit.
A great community event, seeing everybody, especially this parade. I mean, it's so much fun walking in that. Everybody here is a big supporter of the community.
Homecoming is a good way to express your pride for your campus and to get not only the students involved, but the community members as well.
Homecoming at MSU had a lot going on between music concerts, lip sync battles, and the many sports games. But students still took the time to catch up with alumni that came back for the week.
So homecoming, I mean, it's great to see alumni, especially on the basketball team. We see a lot of the guys who come back, who set the standard for the program, and it's great seeing those guys.
And the alumni also have fond memories of the campus and its community.
I've been in this community for more than half my life. I chose to come back here, and I think it's a great event. It just brings back a lot of spirit to everyone.
There were even students and area residents campaigning for local political offices at the parade.
And I think reminding people that, we're only about 30 ways a day from the election is very important, and kind of reminding students and folks the importance of voting and reminding them of the voice that they really do have.
I know a lot of people don't like to talk about politics, but politics controls pretty much everything in our lives.
MSU staff were out and about in the parade, driving trucks and foot carts.
To me, homecoming is about tradition and about connecting generations over time and celebrating really our university as a home for a lifetime.
Everyone seemed to have a great time with plenty of smiles and cheering to go around. In Mankato, Kendall Larson, KYC News Now.
As you can see, the homecoming parade was a huge show of Maverick pride for the campus and the community. Roll Mavs.